Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah. Well, how would I mute it?
What?
How would I mute it?
That's what I'm talking about. I know I can see myself.
Oh.
I know it.
Okay. Hold on. Yes, you can see me. A little more over there, alright?
It's gonna blow all around them. Just stay up there.
Okay?
Yeah, stay there.
Good.
No, we're live.
We're live, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it's talking about knives. Okay.
Yeah, I had to switch to my phone for some reason. I don't know why.
That's hot out.
But we are up and running. Oh. Bubba, yeah, it's like 70 up here today. It's not terrible. I'm pretty excited that fall is coming.
I love that.
So I just wanted to talk today a little bit about, the knives that one would bring into the woods, whether it be for camping, hunting, whatever it may be. I can't see the rest of what Bubba just said.
The fire is as loud as you.
Obviously you can take any knife into the woods, but some will perform better than others. If I can get it out of my pocket. You all know I'm a big Stockman guy. This one's a Remington, which was made by Millis. Great knife. It can handle just about anything. I wouldn't choose it as my first my first night if I'm going into the woods. I would choose a lock back
Hey, we're going to church.
or a fixed blade.
Bye. Be nice if you guys came.
We all know the lock back, you know, the Buck 110, the Buck 112. I've got Remington over here, Charade, Old Timer, Case. They're, you know, a staple in the outdoors. Just about anybody who classifies themselves as an outdoorsman has at least one of that style. I mean, this Case copper lock, full size, could also be, you know, an outdoors type. I plan on carrying this during hunting season this year. The iconic Case Trapper. It was made and designed for people who track animals. You know, very specifically made, and it's definitely an outdoors knife. There's certain things that you can do better with one type of knife than the other. Like, I don't know how I would feel about field dressing a deer with a knife that doesn't lock. I like to have a lock or a fixed blade knife, but for a lot of other things out in the woods, you know, they're totally fine. You know, this folding hunter, you know, this design has been around for over half a century, and people still go crazy over them. They're a great knife. Again, the only real downside is, you know, a lot of them, the two-blade models, they don't lock. There's single-blade models that do lock, but, you know, I mean, this is made by Camillus. This is a jumbo trapper. It's very outdoor, sport-driven. Huge spay blade that would be absolutely great for skinning. Again, they don't lock. But absolutely a great option to take out into the woods with you. You know, there's some knives that were made for other tasks that lend themselves well to the outdoors, like the sod buster. This is the full size. I have the side buster junior as well. You can see the size difference. You know, this is more EDC relatable. But again, for like skinning deer, a lot of like your camp kitchen prep, great blade shape. They're relatively lightweight, simple. And they just fit in the hand great. And then one that, not a lot of people think of is Opinel. These have been made in France for, it doesn't have a date, but I mean like hundreds of years. It's literally just a block of wood with a metal collar and a pin underneath it and a knife blade. Extremely lightweight. The lock mechanism on it is interesting, but it's extremely effective. And you can get these in stainless or carbon steel, and they take a razor edge. They're great. I have a larger one that I use in the kitchen a lot, and they're cheap. I mean, under $20. And then you got fixed blades. Well, let's not get into the fixed blades quite yet. So we talked about the Trapper. This is the Mini Trapper. It's a great everyday option, but for a lot of your bigger outdoor tasks, I would want something bigger. This is a 75 pattern, a large Stockman. Again, it doesn't lock, but that'll do a lot of the things that you need out in the woods. And then this is the famous 99.5 case rail splitter. The snap on this is absolutely insane. It's got a good size to it, and I mean, if you can find them for a reasonable price, I highly recommend picking them up. They're just a great knife. So, I play around with this fire a little bit. Jason, what's going on? So the plan is get a nice cold bed going, and then cook a nice big steak, a couple potatoes right over the fire, and sit here and play with knives. One thing I do want to talk about, it's not a knife, but this has been the trusted axe of outdoorsmen since the days of the fur trade. This is called a Hudson Bay pattern. It's pretty easy to recognize. It looks a bit like a tomahawk. And these usually were under 2.5 pound heads, and they were usually on a 19 to 22-inch handle. That way it could be, put into a pack, um, and you could do everything with this. I just put some wood with it. You could quarter an elk with this. Um, you could chop ice. You can do anything that you would need to with this. This is a proven design for the past 300 years. Um, this one's modern. This is made by Snow and Neely. They're out of Maine. And it's just iconic for the outdoorsman to have, um, a Hudson Bay axe. A lot of history that goes with it. Oh, let's see. I guess we can talk about some fixed blades. So obviously a fixed blade knife is ideal. Um, there's no moving parts. It's stronger than really most any folding knife ever will be. Um, this one's made by Sod. This is the Field Pup 1. It's got a rubberized textured handle. Some nice thumb jimping right here. You can get behind your cuts. Um, great option, not big. That's something that a lot of people think that if they get a knife for the outdoors, it has to be big. It has to be something with a big blade. It doesn't. You don't need that. And honestly, sometimes having a bigger blade, it actually sets you back. This is the Buck 119. Huge knife. I would never take this hunting. Camping, yes, but for a lot of your standard woods activities, this would be too much knife. Because another thing to think of is whatever knife you're bringing with you, you got to carry it. So the bigger the knife, the heavier it is. Um, which, depending on what else you're bringing with you, that might be a factor. This is the Buck 103. It's a skinning blade. So this would be, something that you would bring along with, a normal hunting knife if you were hunting. Absolutely great design. Perfect size handle. Takes a heck of an edge. A great option if you're processing your own game. What's going on, Sean? Noah? What's happening? Oh, this one is a Schrade 491. Bit skinnier of a blade, which I do prefer. I mean, I'm not talking about like knives for bushcrafting or anything like that. But it's a good length for camping and stuff. For hunting, I would want something a lot shorter than this. The handle is wide and textured, and you got this finger guard right here, so it's very secure in the hands. that'd be a great option. This is one of my favorites for hunting, and for a while I carried one of these every day. This is the Buck 102. It's about a 4-inch blade, maybe maybe 3 3/4. Um, Great size knife. Love the clip point. Um, it just does everything a deer hunter would need it to do, and very well. Takes a heck of an edge. Um, and all of these Buck fixed blades with the black handle, they're insanely tough. I mean, I would put one of these Buck knives up against anything, any day. Um, and I bet it would probably come out on top. And this is one of my favorites, the Schrade PH2. The Schrade PH1 is just a bit large for me for hunting. The PH2 is a great size. I know it's not going to show it, but it's got texturing built into the handle scales, which I believe these are buffalo horn, if I'm not mistaken. This feels really good in the hands. Comes with this molded leather sheath, and it is USA made. Let our fire get down a little bit. This one is from Bear & Son, great American company. This is like a bird and trout kind of knife. I got this brand new for, I believe, $30, made in the U.S. It's absolutely great. It's sharp. It's got that nice finger choil right there, and the handle is actually very wide, which I like. Comes with a great leather sheath. Um, you could use it for deer. I would say it's more geared towards small game and lighter tasks, but a great little option, especially if your budget is something that I don't want to say holds you back, but if your budget is a big factor in what kind of knife you can buy, that's a great option. I can't believe I didn't bring a sharp finger out. The Schrade sharp finger, that's iconic. Um, Absolutely great skinning knife. This is another jumbo trapper. Okay. I was able to pick this up. Anybody that's been around me or the channel know that I collect Remington knives, and this was the bullet knife for my birth year, 1989. It's a jumbo trapper. It says Remington on the blade. They all have this sterling silver bullet shield. I believe these handles are Cocobolo. This is like brand new. I don't think it's ever been used. It's definitely never been sharpened. The only thing the previous owner did is put this pretty awesome round leather cord lanyard on it. But this I will carry into the woods. Let's see. I think just about everybody knows of the Buck 110. This is the Buck 110 Ebony Elite with the drop point blade. I haven't figured out which one I like more, the clip point blade or the drop point. I can say I did use this last year in the woods, and it performed extremely well. I think it just comes down to a matter of personal preference when talking about drop point or clip point. This is a Camillus, I believe it was number 11. This is the cam lock, and by cam lock, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's got this little slider on the side of the handle. You slide it down, and the knife is unlocked. You slide it up, and the knife is locked. Great design. Camillus, obviously out of New York. This was made probably in the 70s. You know, I mean, all of the dark spots have come off of it. It would have looked similar to this, but all of the dark spots have been, you know, they came off because of use. And it looks like this might have been rebladed at some point, but still a very, very good option for the outdoors. Let's see. We'll get the only China knife out of here. This is a Rough Rider Reserve. It is the 048. It's made out of D2 steel. It's a large swell center or Coke bottle design. It is a lockback, so I mean, this would be a fair option to take into the woods. Gigantic blade. Lockup is, I mean, there's no play in that at all. You know, there's a lot that you could do with that, whether it be, you know, your camp kitchen chores or, you know, dressing a deer. It's a good option. Going back to Remington. This is the bullet knife from 1990. This is the Tracker, or the R1306. Simple lockback. These were made by Camillus. They've got that, you know, stag-along handle. It does have good jimping at the top for your thumb, and it is a great size for any deer hunter. Locks up nice and tight. A great option. The Trade 6OT. These stand out. You can easily recognize these because, unlike most lockbacks, where you have a front and a rear bolster, or top and bottom, however you want to look at it, the 6OT does not. It's what you would call a bare head knife. Trade old timer. I'm a huge Trade guy. Something about that saw cut Delrin, it gets me every time. Great size, you know, like any buck, 110 or 112. Great size knife for hunting. You can do really pretty much anything with it. Um, and that saw cut on the Delrin gives it a good grip. You know, I mean, I can't say enough good things about, you know, Schrade USA. Made right here in New York. And speaking of Schrade, this one is a little bit of a rare bird. This is the 51 OT. And it is a chunky blade, chunky handle, rounded bolsters, it's bare head. These are getting rarer and rarer, and that's unfortunate because this is a great knife. So much that you can do with that drop point, and this thing is just robust. Absolutely love it. Before we get into buck, I guess I'll take care of the case. This is the case hammerhead, 2159L. It is in stainless steel. I forget what year this is. I forget how to read it. But it's got a cool etch on the blade of a hammerhead shark. It is a little different than the buck because, you know, these bolsters are straight, you know, cut off, and it's a little bit thinner than a buck. But other than that, I mean, it's basically the same thing. Just a different company. Case, obviously, USA made. A great option to take into the woods. Case made a bunch of lockbacks. You know, the hammerhead, the mako shark, the tribal lock. They had one that I saw, I don't know what the name of it is, but it looks more like a Puma lockback knife, and that's one that I don't have, is Puma. They make a great knife. But going into buck, this is the buck 112 plus. I believe this is the pro. There is S30V on the blade. Handles are a green micarta, and the bolsters are actually aluminum. So this is a very lightweight knife. Came from the factory with the thumb stud. And it also came with a pocket clip. I'm not a pocket clip guy, so I took that off. But, you know, you can open it one-handed very easy. I put this little lanyard on here with the buck anvil. Actually, Noah. What case you saying? You're not even
I was checking Skylar. He went on the beams at gymnastics.
Oh. Noah tied this on for me because I am not the best lanyard
Where
maker.
did everyone go?
Where did everyone
We're
go?
still
I don't know,
here.
man. After this fire calms down a little bit, I've got a nice big tomahawk steak and some potatoes. We're going to be cooking on this fire. But great knife. The buck 112. I like it because it's a little bit shorter than the 110. You can get your finger right up to the point, you know, for field dressing. They're tough as nails, and you know, they're starting to get, you know, I guess I'll say more flavored. You know, there's that one, which is, you know, a little bit more modern, and then you got the classic. This is a very traditional buck 112. I believe this is the Ranger model with the finger groove. Just a great knife. for any outdoor adventure. It'll do anything you want. Takes a great edge. And these, these models with the brass bolsters, they've got a good amount of heft behind them. Usually wear it in a belt sheath. It's not too much for the pocket though. And then finally, this is the Buck 110. It's the light, but the handles have this topographic map kind of design in them. It is very light. If I am going to be doing a lot of walking in the woods, I'll go for this just because it's so light. Stainless steel. It's a little bit longer than the 112, as you can see. But this has been the choice for a lot of deer hunters and campers since I believe they came out in 1964 with this, the Buck 110. An absolute favorite by everybody. Everybody loves it. It's tough, very reliable, and if something does happen, the blade snaps or whatever, I think it's like $10. You can send it back to Buck, and they'll put a new blade on it and send it back to you. So great customer service as well. Some companies like Trade, for the U.S. made stuff, Trade's not in business in the United States anymore, so you can't get your blades replaced, your handle scales, replaced. Buck, I don't see Buck going anywhere. I think that they're here for the long haul, but a great option. How many mags you got, man? That's a lot of mags. I mean, I'm about it. Don't get me wrong. But with all that being said, I think tonight I'm gonna cut this steak up with this carbon steel side buster. Oh, she doesn't even need a tune-up. I gotta find something that needs a tune-up. We can do a little cleaning. Well, nice. Well, that's me. Can I help you? Some crazy bird in my tree is going nuts.
Sounds like we're on a swing. It's rusty.
Sounds like a rusty swing.
Oh, there it is. Oh, you're pretty, but very annoying. That's how you're moving.
This sharpener, if you're wondering, I didn't feel like breaking down and buying the work sharp uh, sharpener. So I found this on eBay for 10 bucks. This side is 320 grit diamond. This side's 600 grit diamond. And then you got a ceramic rod and a carbide rod, all in one for 10 bucks. That's pretty hard to beat. I love my old school stones, but for stainless knives, diamond is just the way to go. And I mean, it puts a nasty edge on a carbon steel knife. Sounds like the squirrels are starting to drop acorns. It gets cool here in the, overnight and in the morning. I think last night it got down to like 42.
I love it.
So hunting season is definitely on its way. Jedi Jim, what's going on, brother? We're just talking about knives that one might want to take into the woods. A lot of lockbacks, straight blades, and then knives that might not have been made for the woods, but they lend themselves to certain tasks very well. Of course, if you'd like to sponsor me, I'd be happy to drink your beer in every live that I make, if you send it to me. Like that'll ever work. One thing I didn't touch on with the Opinel, they make these in just about every size. Everything from a little keychain knife to, I think my number 12 open is about yay big. I mean, it's gigantic. But everywhere in between as well. And they're not all the same. They have ones that have skinnier blades. They've got ones that are partly serrated. And they have like a screwdriver bit holder in them. They got a lot. They're a great company. Their knives are fantastic. The price is even better. Really can't complain about it. Under $20. And it's just cool, the blade locks by twisting this ring, and that's it. I mean, I've seen people take these, and I don't know if they whittle them with a knife or they use a Dremel, but they'll like fully carve these things out. I believe this is beech, which is their standard handle material. I feel like they've got like black walnut. There's a lot. They got the ones you can get blue, green, red, yellow, just about whatever you want. Out of all the knives that I talked about today, I would say if there's one knife that every collector and or outdoorsman or knife user needs in their collection or arsenal, it would be an Opinel. It's just one of those things you can't really explain it. You just gotta get one and get it in your hands, and then you'll understand. Um, they're just awesome. Well. If it isn't Travis. No, I have not received the Brotherhood buck yet. Um, I don't know if you got tracking on it. If it's been headed my way for a while, I don't know. Um, but no, I have not seen it yet. Um, and no, I have not gotten the Tater Skin Congress yet. Before you even ask. But since the old case collector is indeed here, how about that rail splitter, Trav? Good old yellow Delrin. Let's see, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 dots. So that's 72. Absolutely love this knife. Everything about it, from the ridiculous snap, the shape of the handles. It's kind of got that, skinny up at the top, and it widens out. Just a great knife. It is the 99.5 pattern, more commonly referred to as the rail splitter. We could possibly work something out there, Travis. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I don't know if you're a yellow Delrin kind of guy, but she is pretty darn nice. She hasn't been walloped on. But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna move around some of this wood and this fire. Put a couple pieces on. And then we're going to set this on. Yeah, you guessed it. We are cooking on the fire tonight. What are we cooking, you might ask? Well, in the world of putting peeners on your knife, we have this beautiful tomahawk steak. So we're going to let that sizzle on there after those logs burn down a little bit. I got the grill grates on there so that it cleans them up some. And then we got some potatoes. We're going to try and cooked them up. It sure is a tomahawk, baby. Let's go. Probably the best steak that you can buy. I mean, let's be real. It's just,
Never had it.
well, that's gonna change. You know, tomahawk steaks, they hold a very special place in my heart. It was the first, kind of expensive steak that I ever bought for myself. Growing up, we didn't really buy steaks. We kind of bought like London broil and stuff like that, and cooked it as steak. So growing up, I never had a porterhouse, a ribeye, a strip, and then that, like I said, the tomahawk was the first real and expensive steak that I bought myself, and I fell in love. Grilled a New York strip last night. I hope you were thinking about me and Jason with that New York strip. But I think the tomahawk is pretty reasonable to buy. I have bought myself, a Wagyu steak on 2 occasions. But that's just, it's expensive. It's way too expensive. Is it great? Oh my God, yes. It's amazing. Absolutely insane. But I love a good steak. I don't really know an awful lot of people who don't love a good steak. Yes, it is, Jason. The big old oil can. Foster's Australian for beer. Apparently it's really not. It's just made by, I believe it's made by Coors. Brewed in the USA. Oh, I guess they are their own. Brewed in Fort Worth, Texas. Imagine that. I guess that's kind of appropriate too, oil can, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, allegedly. It is a good beer though. I do like Foster. Yeah, I mean, for the 2 times that I bought Wagyu, I mean, it was worth it. I can say I've had it. I mean, the experience of eating it was insane. It literally melts in your mouth. Great flavor, but again, for a 1 pound steak, it's $100. That's not something that this guy can do. I can drop $100 on a knife though, real quick. Let me tell you, it's crazy.
Want to go get the olive oil off the table?
No, not yet. We gotta let those logs burn down, and we got some time. Yeah, I mean these are great. They had a green one too, Jason. I don't know if that's like a cream ale or something, but I stuck to what I know. And they got Foster's on tap at Outback Steakhouse. And if you've never had it on tap, highly recommend. Oh, yeah, all the lock back. Did you see that one, Jason? I broke that out for the video. The 51 OT. Love this thing. Oh, now the squirrels are going crazy. Running up and down the tree, shaking the leaves off, making more of a mess for me. Knock it off. Uh, Honestly, out of all of my charade knives, I I think this might be the one that would be really hard for me to actually use. I haven't used it since I got it. Um, I just because I can't really replace it. You know, I mean these things they don't make them anymore. Um, they're expensive as all get out. If you do buy one off of eBay, I mean I don't I don't think I could bring myself to actually use it. But being a trade collector, I had to have one just because they're getting so much more rare. Absolutely love it. A maiden heifer, huh? What would the trade look like on that rail splitter? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know you got your knives that you use and your knives that you put up for your collection. Um, which I also have. It's not the rail splitter. It's like the next size down. I forget, 39 maybe, 39 pattern. Um, I got that in red bone. Um, I don't know, dude. I'm I'm a Stockman guy. I like the 75 pattern, the 18 pattern. Um, I don't know. If you want to come up with some pictures of some stuff that you're willing to let go, you know, shoot them my way. This is a full size copper lock. It started out as sky blue jig bone, and I wasn't a fan of it. So I took my little electrical torch at work to it, and I had to change it up a little bit. I'm pretty happy with it. Jedi Jim, if you form that burger into a steak, smother it with some sautéed onions, you might be in business a little bit. I do love a good cube steak. I will say though, probably my favorite is chicken fried with the sawmill gravy. Oh, you really can't get much better than that. That's oh, is that right, Travis? A vintage Schrade Whittler. Hmm. Send me some pictures. You know what I mean? I got a couple case knives that you might be interested in. I've got a 75 pattern Sea Dragon, brand new. Um, I've got the Wildlife series. Uh, it's a Trapper, the one with the bear on it. I got a couple of, well, not a couple. I've got a case double X, mother of pearl penknife, and a case tested mother of pearl penknife. Um, Depends on what you want. Let's just talk about Bear and Son for a while we're waiting for them logs to burn down. Um, First of all, the leather sheet, it's an open top, which has its advantages, but I'm not crazy about. Um, there's nothing, keeping the knife in there. Very good leather sheath though, very heavy duty leather. Again, I got this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I think this was 25, and then they have their version of the sharp finger. Really, 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 bro. Thank you. They have their version of the sharp finger that I got for, I want to say 25 as well. Made in the USA. Great knives. They take an edge great. Granted, you know, their knives, they're not all $25, $30. They go up. Um, but great American company. Um, and I feel like sometimes they don't get the recognition and the love that they should. Because they're kind of overshadowed by the big guys. Um, don't sleep on Bear and Sons. Absolutely phenomenal product. Um, Sometimes you can find deals on them. Um, like I saw the Knife Doctor's video of going to a Bucky's and buying a Bear and Sons folding hunter. Um, that folding hunter looks gorgeous, and I'm sure it is, top quality. Um, I don't know what their like warranty or guarantee program is, but I'm sure it's pretty decent. Um, I wanna try and get into Bear and Sons a little more. I have an old Bear lockback knife, and it was like 4 Mac tools. Um, it's a stout knife. You know, I think if they added some more patterns of like pocket knives, I think they would do very well with the traditional knife enthusiasts. Um, oh, I have the Ellaville show knife. Doc sent me that. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it. Uh, and that's a sheep's foot Barlow, and amazing quality. Um, they're doing real good things, and I think people sleep on them a lot. You know, some people that you go to Tractor Supply and they see the Bear knives that are made in China. That's that's not what I'm talking about. The Bear USA knives made down south, they're just great. The elk and the moose, yeah, I hear that. I have the rabbit, which is going to a fellow YouTuber as a surprise. Um, can't say who. And the bear. They're beautiful. I mean, you can't beat them. What year is the stupid heart emoji is in the way? What's the rest of what Travis said? What year is something?
Is the charade New York, US, or UK?
Charade, New York, USA. La 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 la. Let's see. I'd like to say that was the 80s, Travis. Obviously, old charade is, it would say Charade Walden. Um, these charades just say Charade USA. Uh, I want to say it was the 80s for Charade NY. Oh, all right. I think we're gonna. Well, number one, we're gonna put my Remington stocking back into my pocket. But get that thing out. This will not be getting dropped into a bag. Neither will this. Alright, so we've got what we're going to use. Oh, you good, bro? Smoky? That happens with fire, you know. So, remove this. I mean, it could have been, Travis. I don't. For somebody who absolutely loves charades, I don't. I haven't dove that far into them. I don't know. Oh, Bubba, welcome back. Let's see here. We're gonna move that like so. So, we've got our gigantic tomahawk steak. What does it say there? Put those on the table, please.
That one?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want that.
No, I want to put them on there myself. Oh, and these. My gird. Thank you. Alright. So, we got some potatoes. And we've got a set of chopsticks. You will find out. So, nope. What you do, you lay your chopsticks down, like so. We'll be using the Opinel, since I talked about it so much. You put your potato in between the chopsticks. Not nuts.
Oh, you kind of make it well,
I should have practiced this before doing it on live. Could also be too thick of a blade. Yeah, you know, I'm not even gonna use chopsticks. So you don't want to cut all the way through the potato. You want to leave a little bit at the bottom. Go farther. so that you can get, you know, your oil, your seasoning, etc. down in there. How many potatoes do you want?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
One.
I want potato.
Very good. We'll do one more. What? Is that what they're called, Travis? Hasselback? Listen, I got an axe. I'll split more wood. I'll keep the fire going until you're here. I'll see you in like 12 hours. No, it's probably even more than that. Maybe not.
Steak will be gone before you go.
Yeah, you will have to stop at the store and grab another steak because this one will more than likely be gone.
Yeah, I bring some, you have an email.
I do, yeah. It's cgeary89@gmail.com. Or on my YouTube page, if you go over to posts, I made a post about knives for sale, and I believe my email is listed in that as well.
I might be going to Jason's.
Venison meatloaf, huh?
That sounds pretty good.
Do love some venison meatloaf. Well, the potatoes are cut. Oh, you ain't lived until you had some venison meatloaf. I like mixing in onion, chopped onion, bacon bits, and then I do, just shredded cheese, shredded cheddar from the store. But I also get the dry French onion soup mix, and I put that in. And whew, I tell you what, that's about as good as you can get. It sure is, Jason. Tell you, I'm getting excited, man. I hope it gets cooler. You know, hunting when it's warm out is not fun. I've done it. Not the best of times, but Smoky.
I like it.
Straight to the eyes. Oh, it's worse than an onion. All right. It's been a while since I cooked over a fire, but it's like riding a bike, right? Now we're talking. Put that there like that. We got the pink Himalayan salt. The black pepper. Oh, right to the eyeballs again. Love it. All right, we're gonna give it a minute. Let that paper burn off.
I look it, bud.
Yep.
They said I trained the smoke to do that.
Huh?
I trained the smoke to do that.
Who said that?
They said,
Thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
careful.
This pepper grinder.
Yeah.
Yes. You grab the regular pepper. Thank you.
Is there anything else on up there?
No. Oh. Yeah, this doesn't grind the pepper so great. Well, at all. So we're going to use regular pepper. Huzzah! Regular pepper. What are you chewing on?
Oh,
What?
I'm hungry.
Okay. That's hot already.
Wow. I own it.
The salt one does great. Pop up potatoes on.
Hot. Buddy. I didn't have to learn by now. It's not tough.
I didn't touch. Some potatoes with the salt. And the pepper. And just like that, we're cooking. Oh, that fire gets hot.
It's a fire.
Yeah, there's not going to be leftovers. I can tell you that. Oh yeah, it's starting to smell good in here. Oh. The hungry vibe is real. Oh. So how's everybody been? I haven't been making videos off too much. You know, I've been just trying to live life. It is what it is. Actually, can you get a set of tongs? We're going to flip the potatoes. Yeah.
Again, anything else while I'm up there?
No, should be. Oh. Getting into the busy season at work. You know, a lot of rentals. We're gonna get even busier. A lot of people renting machines, you know, for the entire winter for snow removal. Just one of those things, you know. I mean, it is what it is. But at least hunting season's coming. Get to spend some time outdoors, you know, doing what I love. Hard to beat that. You know, she loves the venison sausage that I have made, specifically the breakfast sausage. It's pretty good, not even gonna lie. But look forward to hopefully filling the freezer again this year. Maybe get out and do some ice fishing. Haven't been able to do that in a while. Jason, I'll see you, brother. And I'll let you know when that Brotherhood buck comes in. We'll have to get you on the screen doing a couple things.
Good for us.
Yeah, he had to do some stuff. Oh. I believe JC Mountain of Jar is going to be live tonight. I think it was 9 p.m. Eastern. He's supposed to be doing a live tonight.
With 2 other people.
Yeah, with a couple people. Absolutely love JC. Great dude. You know, we started pretty much the same time, and he's just rock solid. All right, thanks, guy Jim. Lenny, what's happening, brother? Got a nice tomahawk steak, and apparently they're called Hasselback potatoes. You just kind of slice them, not all the way through, cover them with oil. Yeah, so JC Mountain Jar is going live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I forget who else he's going live with, but he's always a great time.
Boomers, blades, and something.
With boomers? Boomers, blades? Okay. Oh, that's him, not the jar. What? On top? We don't know. I think it's just the two of them. But, yeah, no, he's so talented, man. I mean, and it's awesome because he's just that down to earth guy. He's so easygoing. Absolutely love him. me and him have talked a lot. You know, we've sent stuff to each other. Easy now, Bessie. We're cooking. It might be a little too hot for those potatoes, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, Lanny, I figured, you know, why not do something a little different? Came out, talked about, you know, knives that one might consider for going into the woods, whether it be hunting, camping, etc. Talk a little bit about the history of the Hudson Bay axe. You know, now decided to do a fire, cook up a nice steak, some potatoes. You know, try something a little different. Why not? It is nice. It's, well, I don't know what the temperature is because I'm using my phone for the live. But, I don't know, the high today was only supposed to be 70. So, it's not like it's crazy hot out. I feel like that guy that cooks all the food in the middle of the woods. Except I'm not in the middle of the woods, I'm in my backyard. And I'm not going crazy on cooking like he does. That guy, he chops all his vegetables in the woods and goes nuts. Love it. Good stuff. I probably will not make videos like that. But so this steak is gonna taste great. Some hickory, some oak in there. Can't beat cooking over open fire. So I think to cut the steak tonight, Emma's going to be using this full-size copper lock in carbon steel, which I naturally I took the torch to. What? Okay. I took the torch to it. I got this like $70 off of Amazon. It was red jig bone, carbon steel. Pretty good price on a full-size copper lock. And I'm going to use carbon steel again, the full-size sod buster. Does a number on a steak. Then again, if I let it cool down enough, I might just grab a hold of it. I don't know. Man, the Imperial axe and fixed blade set, I had one before I even started collecting. I don't know, I picked it up at a flea market or something, and I still have the knife, but I had a neighbor who had a few trees fall in his yard, and I went over to help him, and naturally I brought that tiny little hatchet uh, for whatever reason, and I ended up losing it in the mud in his yard, and I never found it. That is unfortunate. I like those kind of sportsman sets. You know, it's a tiny hatchet and a fixed blade knife. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I like the full size copper lock. The copper lock mini, I don't hate it, but it's not my first choice. You know, it just it just feels too small to me. You know, I mean, I'm used to a good handful of a knife. You know, like this Camillus Model 10. You know, I mean, something that fills the hand. Um, the mini copper lock. I don't know. I have carried them, but it's not my first go-to. Yeah, that's awesome, Jim. To have it with the leather sheath, you know, I mean, it was a big thing back in the day to make that kind of a set. A lot of companies did it. Not a lot have survived, not in good condition anyway. But there's always a story behind it. Let's see what's going on here. Smoky in the eyes. Got some serious goals down in there. Let me tell you. There we go. A little rearranging. And we're back to the races. Oh. $93. Goodness. Yeah, it didn't get above 70 here today, which I am all right with. Yeah, no, that's awesome, Jim. They're just a real neat conversation piece, you know? I mean, my honest opinion, are you gonna really cut a lot with that hatchet that's, you know, 1/8 of an inch thick? No. But you can do some stuff. But to have it, you know, in a sheath with a fixed blade knife that matches it, I think that's pretty awesome. You know, they're definitely cool. Getting smoked out, are you? Hmm. Yeah, this is gonna be a real good steak. Let me tell you what. Yeah, she was. She moved direct opposite of where she was. But we all know that's the game you play when you got a fire going.
I like it.
Sometimes it'll just chase you all the way around. It doesn't matter where you go. It just follows you. I could have brought out the percolator pot. You know, done a little cornbread special. This is the first fire I've had all year, believe it or not. Yeah, we had a hot summer. The last thing that I want to do when I come home from work is start a fire. You know, I mean, I work in an unair conditioned garage, so I sweat all summer long. Not into it. Oh, the fire's catching my grizzle on fire. think so. All right, y'all. Get this out of here. We're just about done cooking, so we're gonna finish up cooking and then eat. But I appreciate y'all coming out. Y'all be good. Enjoy the outdoors.